Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Tymoteusz. This is Transport Fever, and I'm so sorry about the quality of the videos. I have literally no idea why this is happening, but I think I've fixed it now, and this is gonna, fingers crossed, be the last voiceover that I do in quite a while. So, anyway, it's a good thing that we skipped this bit, because this was a little bit that I indeed fucked up on, because the game crashed at the end of the last episode, as you may well recall. But since we're zipping through this at 200 times speed, you're not gonna go through all of the boring stuff, so yeah, it's kind of nice, I guess, for everyone. Not for me, who has to re-record it. That really annoys me, and I'm just as annoyed as you guys are, actually. Anyway, at the end of the last episode, we sort of talked about how we wanted to get a big airport, because that actually allows us to have 2 runways rather than just this one, which the medium airport supports. But apart from that, that's pretty much the biggest thing that we want to do. Obviously, the worst thing about replacing any airport is that you get rid of all of the passengers. Also, it is a right pain in the butthole if you want to try and replace an airport, because you need to make sure that you do it when there are 0 airplanes on it. So that's very, very important that you can't remove an airport when there's still planes on the runway or taxiing or whatever, which is, again, quite annoying. And you also can't upgrade the airport from a medium to large in the upgrade interface. You can only upgrade the number of terminals, so that's, again, very, very prohibitive. But it's super easy. We don't really need to make any modifications to the terrain around. We just need to get rid of a couple of shitty old roads that we've got. And what do you know, the optimization issues that this game has, it makes it look a hell of a lot smoother in 2 times speed. That is for absolutely certain. Removing a little bit of road here to try and make it so that we get a little bit more space. It's a little bit of a wider footprint that we've got from this 3 terminal runway. But if you'll remember, about 5, 6, 7, 8 episodes ago, we made this like temporary little road so that the trucks that were stuck could access the main road. We just need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of a couple of houses as well, but that should allow us to pretty much place it right over here. There we go. We found the sweet spot. We checked there that there's 3 terminals. Booyah! We've hit the target, which is fantastic. And now all we need to do is connect up the old road, which is a massive pain in the ass to do. And I think we have to get rid of one more house. Yes, we do. But that's still within range of the bus stop. Bus stop is still in range of the airport, which is exactly what we were after. And therefore we will have tram connectivity, which is very, very, very nice indeed. The weird thing is that even though we paused the game and it all went fine, the Concorde still felt the need to fly overhead and abandon its approach to Elstree and Bournemouth East, which is the airport name. So I don't know why that happened, because I don't think it should have, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's, I don't know, you can't land on a runway that's just been recently built or something. I don't know. Anyway, we sort of are having a couple of supply issues, and that's really the main theme throughout this episode, I suppose. Supply issues all across the board. So I bought a bunch of trucks, stuck them on oily, and, well, see if we can ship a little bit more oil. But the problem is not that we're not shipping oil, it's that the delivery of the good that oil is being turned into, i.e. fuel and oil. I should really call it crude oil, because that's what the crude oil is, the resource that is turned into oil and fuel. Bit of a stupid naming convention, but whatever. That's the problem, right? We've got too much fuel and oil that is not being delivered. And it's not being delivered, it's that it's just not being delivered in an appropriate time. So we'll sort of get down to why that is a little bit later on, but for now we're having serious financial problems, as you can probably tell, so we need to wait for money to come in. Again, if you want to make money in this game, never ever ever build anything but passenger services, because if you build anything but passenger services, then you will not make money. It's quite as simple as that. It's so much easier to build passenger services than it is to build anything else. Never ever ever try to build cargo unless you actually want to, because it's just a pointless endeavor. Really, literally pointless. Couldn't recommend it enough. Anyway, we want to try and test the theory that livestock is the reason why we don't manage to ship enough grain. Because if you remember, we've got that massive route that travels basically from one side of the map to the other, taking a bunch of grain. Now, we later come to find out that this is not the problem of the station, right? So the reason that we're not actually getting a lot of grain is not because we're not shipping the livestock as well, which is what I initially thought. But the problem, I think, once again, is a supply issue, because all of our grain and, as it turns out, oil goes to one station, to one refinery, and that is to the plastic refinery that is just outside Elstree and Borehamwood, which we'll look at in a second. However, the plastic is not being delivered to the goods factory in regular enough updates. Further to that, the goods can't really be built, or as many goods cannot be built, or lots of goods cannot be built because we're not getting enough planks. So basically, I think that the entire reason that we can't ship enough grain is actually because we've got too much grain stored at the plastic factory, and as a consequence, no more grain can be shipped. This is the plastic factory in question, and no more. So effectively, what we've got happening is we've got no grain can be shipped because we're not getting enough planks, which is fucking stupid. Which is really fucking stupid, and it's a really, really, really big reason why I really dislike this game, because you can't choose to only do one bit of the process. You have to do the entire supply chain, which is very, very limiting and very, very expensive, and oftentimes a very, very long way away from where you actually want to be and what you want to be doing. I mean, look at what I've done. I mean, I've got spaghetti tracks going literally everywhere. And yes, I know I could have probably created a more circular route, or a more a better system of track. But in all honesty, this is kind of like the bare minimum that you need to maintain a network that's decently large. But I don't know. It just seems a little bit silly. Anyway, we can see from this end that the production problem is not really at the end of grain. I mean, we're getting a lot of livestock arriving at the station, but still no real grain being shipped in there, which is a little bit annoying. And then I think I talk about how I probably should, in reality, have fixed the other little grain area that we did plan for, but then kind of cancelled, because, I mean, we should get enough grain from these three farms already, but we're just not, because obviously of the supply issues that I keep on talking about. I try fiddling around with wait times a little bit here to see if it makes any difference, because I don't know why it would make any shred of difference, but it doesn't. I just want to impress upon you, it doesn't. This is not the problem that we have. The problem that we have is absolutely to do with planks. I'm like 110% sure that it's all to do with planks. Blame planks 100%. The problem is compounded by the fact that we only have one train that actually delivers planks from the plank producing place to the goods factory, and that journey in itself is a fucking long ass journey. So I think that that's where the problem is. I could be wrong. I mean, everything that I know about this game is apparently based on misinformation. I really know nothing about this game, mostly because the mechanics are very, very obscure, and also because I didn't do the tutorial, but mostly because the mechanics are obscure. Either way, it's very, very annoying to me that there's not much that I can do, apparently. Anyway, from my eyes, there's not much that I can do, because I should be shipping, I should be having record numbers on crude oil, on goods, on planks, on everything. I should be, but I'm just not. There's lots of problems, but I just don't know what they are, which is the problem. Our goods train, or our grain train, is carrying literally like 3 bits of grain from one side of the map to the other. It's hugely unprofitable. We have indeed, as you may have seen, taken out quite a few loans over the course of this episode. So very, 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 very irritating. That is for certain. And I'm really, really, really displeased with the way that this seems to be turning out. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We're almost to the year 2000, which is actually in itself quite a milestone. And I'm sure that I don't actually know when the trains stop appearing. I guess maybe like modern day, the game probably ends. But again, no real idea. We're just going to sort of play until the series feels like it's at a natural end. And I don't feel that we're sort of at a natural end yet. Elstree and Borehamwood really isn't up to the size that I'm happy with. Again, this is me trying to tweak the station a little bit, and ends up in complete disaster because the train just comes behind the other train, and that infuriates me. I remember being very, very infuriated by that, and how the trains were all just like stacking behind themselves. And watch it do it again. There you go. 3 trains waiting for the exact same bay in the station. That is astounding. Like that's that's dedication right there. That's dedication to fuckery. Anyway, I tried getting a bunch of new plastic trains to see if that would make any difference, but it turns out that it's not the plastic production that's the problem, it's the production of goods. And as I say, the production of goods relies on planks, and we're not getting enough planks. So the entire system here is being brought down by the fact that we don't have enough planks. That's such a stupid system. It really is. I cannot reinforce that enough. That is an unbelievably silly system to have in a game. It really pissing me off. Really pissing me off, as you can probably tell. Really pissing me off. Anyway, I got to the point here when I realized, yep, it's not the plastic's fault. I mean, plastic is indeed at fault, but it's fucking stupid anyway. Like, it doesn't really matter. I then proceed to remove all the signals that I just added, and then the trains phase through each other in a glorious display of real, true, and great game design, where we now have, yep, two trains just phasing through each other like there's nothing there. I mean, that's pretty fucking bad. I don't even think that there's crash animations in this game. I mean, who builds a fucking train simulation game without fucking crashes? God damn, that is, we're in a dire world, I know, but like, that's just too far. That's one step too far. The great thing about being in 200 times speed is that you literally have, you literally can't see how horrific this game is optimized, which is really nice. So it actually looks remotely smooth when you're running it in 3 times speed, in 200 times speed, which is, you know, twice the normal speed that you'd usually watch a video, I guess, unless you watch a video more than that. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty much all about planks, as you can see here. That was me identifying that, oh, perhaps it's not plastic that's the problem, perhaps it's something else, perhaps it's planks. So then I think I just get really annoyed and start complaining about everything. And as you can see, we've already got like 2 trains delivering wood, but apparently that's not enough. The shortfall, I think, is the fact that we don't have enough trains delivering from the sawmill to the goods place. Like, we've only got 1 train on that. We really probably should have more. Anyway, I buy a couple more whatever you call it, vehicles for this little delivery process. We try to get a couple more logs to the station so that the train can get fully loaded. And I think we achieve the first fully loaded train that I've ever seen leave the station in just a second, actually, which is very exciting. But basically, we get to see a train fully laden with logs, 100%, and we get to see that depart all the way over there. This is something else. We need to really get a second train on this, because that was a full load of machines and tools, and there's still some stuff left over at the station, so we really probably should get another train delivering to Elstree and Bournemouth, but hey-ho. Anyway, yes, this is the fully loaded plank train, and there's still a bunch of logs at the station, so that really needs to be rectified. As you can see, the demand in this game works completely arbitrarily, apparently. Like, it really is literally dependent on how many trains that you have on the line. As far as I can tell, anyway, I really don't know. But it seems the more trains that you put on a line, the more things happen. Anyway, ladies and gents, that brings us towards the end of the episode. And with that, my name, of course, has been Open Potato. This has been Transport Fever, a re-recording that I hope I will not have to do once again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.